Welcome back to another video here at the Tandem Off-Road YouTube channel, and what I have here is a 1992 FJ80. This lovely little bird here has a broken front differential. It came in with a complaint of something to do with the transmission. I can't quite remember, but I instantly saw that he had the four-low engaged and the diff lock center diff also engaged to get the truck moving, and the tow truck driver told me it was moving. So I knew for a fact that at that point our issue was not a transmission but more of the driveline. And sure enough, it was a front differential that is, it's dead, Jim. It's not coming back. He's not coming home. I'm sorry.
It just runs. Because I read it.
Therefore, they're spray painted on there. Ow, my hands! All right, so we need to go ahead and get the tires off of this thing, and we can start tearing into the hubs so we can get the axles out. And while we get the axles out, we can get the third member out. Got him. All right, this guy right here. Well, they are on there pretty good. With our little locking nuts removed, we can go ahead and take this hub out. So we'll start by taking this hub piece out. We got our locking rings here. I suspect that this one's actually kind of loose. Maybe not, actually. Yeah, that's too loose. Should not be that loose for the locking nut. And again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and pop this brake caliper out. It's going to be a 17. Stick you over here, out of the way. Pretty thick lip. Take our lock washer out. You should be able to do this with a pick or your fingernails. There you go. Then our preload nut right here. Get this preload. Sorry, I'm making a TikTok at the same time. Don't judge. And now with that, this guy comes off. We can get to the main part of this build. Okay, now that I got the rotor and all that stuff out of the way, I can take a really good look at these splines, and what I'm looking for is a nice flat spot finish, and that is gonna let me know that these are still in good condition. If they have like a super pointy tip to them, that they're just too worn out and it's time to replace the burr fields themselves. But this one's in good shape. It's only got 130,000 miles. It's unfortunate that the front differential went out, but at least his axles are in good condition. We can keep pushing forward. Recently, now here's a little pro tip when you're taking apart burr fields on an A-series. If you take these two bottom bolts out and gear oil comes out of it, you know that the axle shaft seal is done. It's not doing its job anymore, because that means gear oil is inside the CV axle chamber. that is not what you want. Don't you go anywhere, caliper. Here we go. Pop these guys out. Break all this. I'm not hitting it really hard, I'm just breaking off all this dirt buildup. Then I can get behind here, break that seal loose. Well, that came out. Oh my God. It's so bad. I already got this side off. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. I don't feel like I need to cover it. So to work I go. So there's a trick I use to get these to break the seal. We're gonna give it some pressure and it'll break it free. Don't lift up on it too hard. But just like that. And she's free. Oh. Camera. Well, the camera's always out of battery, and I just want this to come out. Oh, there we go. All right, grab the diff. Grab the diff. Just grab it. Just grab. Yeah, there you go. Woo.
Is this, where is it going?
In the parts washer, I guess.
Is this where we find out how toothless it is?
Except it really wasn't what I was expecting.
Hold on a second.
And also, I didn't pan the camera just yet because I was so baffled.
Where's the broken diff? Okay, so my camera ran out of battery and it was not what I was expecting. So if you look, besides it looking like a giant, well, I don't even know what to call it, like a booger. Like this is disgusting. But I need a rag, actually, hold on. Okay, so I got that off, but if I flip this here, there's literally no broken teeth anywhere. There's no debris of broken teeth or anything like that. It's just the fluid's really nasty and it skips real bad. So I went over here to check the CV axle because Alex brought up like, hey, maybe it's in the axle. And sure enough, that guy is rounded. And this one's about to go out too. So I'm gonna get to cleaning and then I'll let y'all know what I decide what I'm gonna do. So two things is I'm gonna grab this pinion And you can hear there's play inside of here. And that play is more than likely the crush sleeve here has lost its preload. I'm already planning to replace this pinion, to be honest with you. Like I said, we're tossing this in the trash. So obviously there's no broken teeth on this differential. If anything, it actually looks okay. But we have rounding at the edge, right at the heel of the tooth, and a lot of etching in the middle spot. So no matter what I do to this ring and pinion set, it's gonna make noise no matter what. This thing was probably screaming before it failed too. So let's go ahead and get the ring gear off. Then we can get the center pin off, and we can take out the spider gears, and then we can look at our real problem with this differential. Okay, so I switched camera lenses so I can show you guys kind of like a breakdown analysis, right? Because we tore this whole differential apart just to see what all damage we kind of uncovered. And if we look at this pattern right here, I'm gonna try to do this the best I can. Come on, camera, focus. So we can see here we have this very distinct pattern. This is where our spline goes and rests into, and then we'd have these low spots here. As the shaft would turn, would also turn the spider gear. But what we're noticing here is that we have this kind of a sharp dip here and a very, very fine tooth. And as the shaft was getting pushed, it was eating away. Not a lot of lubrication to keep stuff cool, so things were getting hot, brittle, and breaking apart. So then we're gonna go ahead and look at our failure. See, it had that sharp tooth, but eventually got so fine, so weak that it just rolled over. And no more movement. No more movement. So here's another very interesting thing as well. This is the race for the pinion. And essentially we got this nice dark hazing here. This is a good indication of preload loss, which we've already determined that we've lost preload. Here's a really cool distinct pattern that I don't see very often, but when I do, it's actually really interesting. And I'm hoping that the camera can show it this very well. You can see here we have a high spot, low spot, high spot, low spot. And that's essentially the roller bearings, these guys, though this is not supposed to be here, but these guys chattering inside of here. That is a direct cause from loss of preload. So it's just kind of fascinating to me because I've dealt with a lot of differential failures, but it's never been direct from a spider gear or a sun gear, depending what side of the planet you're on. And I just was expecting a lot more damage than I actually found. Fortunately for the customer, I have a spare because I'm a hoarder, and it pays off to hoard your parts from time to time. So I'm gonna go ahead, start prepping this guy, and once we start getting the reassembly, I'll bring you guys back into here. I just need to get moving. I'm a little bit behind on my day, and yeah. Hot, 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 hot. Oh, she's still warm? Yeah, she's okay with it. There we go. Not using full force, I just kind of want to get her seated. We're gonna let her cool off, and then once she's cool off, we can take these bolts out, and then we'll torque it with a torque wrench. Should just fall right in.
just like that.
Yeah, nice.
And as smooth as things were going, unfortunately, I ran into my first snag in this build, and that is the flange. The flange was originally a 27 spline count, and the new pinion is a 29 spline count, which is stronger and is good, but they never sent us the corresponding flange with it. So that means I can't run my first pass to see how the pattern looks like on this differential, and I will go into more details on assembling it on the next episode. So thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great holidays, and I will see you guys next time.